Hello, my name's Elizabeth Echeverria. Welcome to the Living in Liberty YouTube channel. I founded a nonprofit in Pittsburgh that helps women transition out of a life of sex trafficking, and we are working to help educate people about the issue of trafficking, about what Living in Liberty is doing and what other organizations are doing, and how you can engage. Today we're going to talk about trafficked women and the high recidivism or cyclical nature of exiting trafficking. The average number of times for women to be successful in exiting trafficking is 14 times, which that sounds extremely high, and it is. It can be either higher or lower, so it can look different for each woman that's exiting. There are three factors that contribute to this high recidivism rate or high cycling in and out of the life. The first one is substance abuse. Often our women have addiction as part of their backgrounds, and they are often addicted to heroin, meth, or alcohol, or a combination of the three. And it's not unusual for them to come in and work on their sobriety while they're with us at Living in Liberty. Once they gain that sobriety, they start gaining some confidence. And then around the 6 or 7 month mark, they begin to feel confident in their sobriety and feel comfortable and want to start doing more things on their own. While they still are dealing with lots of trauma and memories from the life and are learning to develop new coping skills, it's a very pivotal time for our women, a critical time for our women. They need to continue in that supportive environment with a therapist or a counselor, developing the coping skills to be able to deal with the traumas and triggers that come with being out of the life and not using a substance to help deal with those traumas and triggers that are happening. So it's not unusual for our women to at this point feel confident in their ability and return to their life, but it's important that we really encourage them to continue on to develop the coping skills that they need to have to be able to be successful in their exit. The second challenge when women exit a life of trafficking that contributes to their recidivism is the addiction to the life or the addiction to the excitement of the life. When they exit trafficking and they get sober, and then they're now in a calm, peaceful environment, and they're left to, of course, not have this excitement. You know, they have had hypervigilance because of all the dramatic and traumatic things that have happened while they're being trafficked. And to live in a calm, peaceful environment is often unnerving to our women. It's a challenge for them. And they also have an opportunity to start reflecting on the things that happened to them while they're being trafficked. And this also can be a trigger. So these factors, they want to live in that exciting environment. They don't want to live in what feels like a boring, peaceful, calm environment. So one of the important factors when our women are exiting is, for one thing, to help them to develop those coping skills by connecting them to a therapist or counselor, and to also help them figure out ways to fill their time so that they don't feel bored or not challenged, and to figure out new things that they can do with their life, and to also come to terms with the fact that the things that were exciting in the life are also the very things that often cause them trauma, and to have the challenges that they're having. So it's also educating them on these factors. The last thing that contributes to their recidivism is the friends. It's very difficult when they exit the life because all of their friends are back in the life. If you think about addiction, they often talk about people, places, and things. And of course, that's part of our women's history as well, addiction. So that's what I'm talking about today, is people, places, and things. And building a new community, new relationships, new friendships outside of being trafficked is very difficult. They feel very connected to that community and those friends. They had lived with them for quite a while in the streets in this chaotic environment, and they share a lot of war stories and history and trauma together. So there's strong connections and relationships there. And any relationships they had outside that were of people that were outside of the trafficking world often had been broken and distanced themselves because of the addiction and the trauma that these people for their own health, had set boundaries and are reluctant to re-engage with them at this point until they see some success in and true commitment from the women in exiting the life. So it's not unusual for the women to want to go back to that community and those friendships as well. Sometimes they'll even believe that they're at a point where they're strong enough. And again, it happens again around that 6 to 7 month mark where they think that they can go back and help the ones that are still stuck in the life. And often at that point, they haven't built up enough skills and resources and support network to be able to successfully go back and help at this point. So it really is at a critical point in their exit to help them recognize that they still need to build strong coping skills, strong relationships in a community, and develop new skills outside of being trafficked. So these 3 factors are things that contribute to that high recidivism, that average of 14 times for women to be successful in exiting trafficking. And so if we help them overcome these challenges, they can be successful. I hope you learned something today. If you could like, subscribe, and share and this video and the Living in Liberty YouTube channel, that would just be wonderful. I thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting with you next week.